You are either for open debate or you are for silence and smear, otherwise known as cancel and smear. Okay? So, thing you have to understand is anybody out there, no matter what the topic is, no matter what their expertise is in, okay, if they are not willing to debate, they are hiding something. Okay, this is why I've often said, I will debate anybody. Okay, in my realm, in what I am best at, in what I have the most experience at, right? Which is pickup and dating, right? Or even this red pill stuff. I will debate anybody. And I've gone on a few people's podcasts, right? And I was on, what was his name? Playing with Fire. I was on Alex, I believe his name was Alex, his show. And he wanted to have me on and he wanted to challenge me on some things. And I remember before he started the podcast, before he hit that live button, he asked me very politely. He said, is there anything that you want to, any topics that you don't want me to cover, tell me now. And I said, no, absolutely not. All of it's fine. I'm not hiding anything you want to ask me. I had no clue what he was going to ask me. No idea. But all I could do is be honest, right? As long as you're honest, you'll never lose, right? You'll never look like an idiot. Just be truthful, right? Just explain things in a way that, you know, essentially reflects your personal experience. Because no matter what, I mean, it's true to you, right? So he asked me that before I came on. He also mentioned that he was not able to get any other red pill creators to come on his show and even have a discussion, much less a debate. But I had no problem doing that. I went on and, you know, we had a healthy discussion and it was fine, right? It was fine. But anybody who is not willing to debate is hiding something. And this is why I can never ever get on board with the left, right? And this is why, you know, so many people are turning their backs on the left these days, more and more. As much as they want to cheat, as much as they own Hollywood, they've got corporations in their back pockets, professional athletes, you know, professional sports stars, you name it. I mean, literally, they've taken over almost every sport. NBA, NFL, NHL even, NASCAR. They own all these sports now. Everything's gone woke. They still are paranoid, right? They still are paranoid of losing the culture war, right? Which again, they totally have the upper hand, right? Because again, they have everyone in their back pockets. They have everyone out there doing their bidding. They've brainwashed like 80%, 85%, maybe even close to 90% of the global population, I kid you not, and have turned up to 90% of the people out there into total NPCs who, if you talk to any person out there, like you just go down and have a conversation with people and you go, hey, what do you think about Trump? Ah, it's racist. Racist, he should be in prison for the classified documents. Well, what about Biden? He had classified documents too. What? No, that doesn't count. You know, I mean, if you talk about anything, you don't have to talk about Trump. You could be like, what do you think about the jab? Oh yeah, you know, if you didn't take that jab, man, you're evil. You're evil. You should have taken it. What about all the people who are like suddenly getting strokes and dying suddenly? How do you feel about that? No, that's just coincidence, man. Coincidence. No, but the statistics say there's an alarming rise in that ever since the, you know what, came out. No, you know, you could see it. I mean, these people are not even willing to just use any critical thinking skills whatsoever. And that's if they'll talk to you at all, right? Because from what I see out there and what you see out there, right? You look on any social media platform, who are the ones who are trying to have an open discussion, an open debate, just trying to talk to these people and try to understand them. I hate to say it, right? It's overwhelmingly people on the right. It's overwhelmingly conservatives. I'm an independent, by the way. I would be more libertarian than anything, right? But it's overwhelmingly people on the right who are willing to have these discussions, who want to talk to the other side. But it's overwhelmingly people on the left who are like, shut up and comply. Don't you ever dare say a word that goes against our narrative. Don't ever speak against it, man. It's like if you don't comply, you're going to be attacked. You're going to be smeared. You're going to be canceled. You might even be killed. Okay? That's the world we're living in right now. It's one side that's doing that. Ironically, it's the same side that calls that side fascist, right? They call them fascists. They call them all sorts of names, but fascist is the number one. I always wonder, like, have they looked up the definition of fascism? Because it's literally what they are doing, right? They are doing so much gaslighting lately. It's mind-boggling. But regardless, I don't trust anyone who is not willing to debate. Okay, and you again, you have two choices, right? If both parties are trying to find truth, you can either have an open discussion or you can silence and smear. And again, who's doing the silence and smearing? Who's doing the canceling? It's overwhelming the left. And again, they have everyone in their back pockets, right? As for people who want free speech, people who are on the right mostly, they have their hands tied behind their back, right? Anybody who doesn't agree with the machine and all this craziness with like sexualizing children and men having babies and you can't say mom anymore, that's hate language, you have to say birthing person, who's doing that? It's overwhelmingly the people on the left, right? But then when you try to have discussions with them, they shut you down. They call the cops on you. If you go to speak at one of their colleges, it's hilarious to me because leftist speakers, okay, whenever you have a leftist speaker who's going to go on stage anywhere, especially a college campus, do they need to buy like $60,000 or $600,000 in security to protect them? Do they need to make sure they have bodyguards around them 24? No, they could just go up there and speak. Nobody's going to threaten them. Nobody's going to throw, spit at them, throw eggs at them, try to murder them. No, it's only people on the right? Again, these kids in college, for example, right, they'll have 4 years of indoctrination in college. I don't even know why parents are still sending their kids to college these days, unless you're going to get a professional degree. I've always said that. Unless you're going for a professional degree that requires you to be licensed by the state, doctor, lawyer, engineer, that's fine. But if you're just going for business or something, you don't need to go. Just start a business, man. If you're just going to, piss your time away and, try to get a film degree, you don't need that, man. Just go start making films. You don't need college for these things. But regardless, they're indoctrinating these kids for 4 years straight, right? They have these kids in class 5 days a week, all day long, just feeding them all these toxic ideas like hate your country. Oh man, your country's evil. Oh, your country's racist. Oh, your country oppresses people and all this. And then, you get 4 years of that. And then suddenly one day you get like Ben Shapiro coming to speak at school. Everybody loses their minds, right? And they're trying to shut him down, quiet him, cancel him. You got people coming out there like blasting their music or, blowing on the bullhorn so you can't hear him. Why are they so threatened? Why are they so threatened by anybody with an idea or an opinion or a thought that is opposite of theirs? The reason why is because they know that their ideas at the end of the day don't hold water, right? They know that, right? It's kind of like you being a boxer, right? Say you're a boxer and all you do is fight people who are like half your size, half your weight, that you can easily kick their ass. Right? That essentially, and then anybody who comes along that is your size, equal weight, that might give you some problems, you avoid. You don't even let this person near your camp. You don't let him talk to you. You don't let him call you. You won't take any of his messages. Just you block him on social media because he's trying to challenge you to a fight. He's trying to get you to show up and show what you're really made of, right? And you're just ducking him the entire time. Most people would not respect a fighter like this, right? And it just blows my mind that the left has any merit at all these days. And really, the reason why is because, again, they control like 99% of the television, the media, the movies, the advertising, the music, everything that is essentially brainwashing and indoctrinating everyone, not even just kids these days, especially kids, but also adults, right? Adults who at one time had rational thinking. Because I could go back just, 10 years ago, right? And people were a lot more rational than they are today, right? You could still say, hey, I have a mom, not a birthing person. You could still say, hey, man, you think men can have babies? They'd be like, what? No, that's dumb. Why would you say it? Are you nuts? Right? You go back 20 years, you get even more people who were rational thinking and had common sense. Right? It was a different time. Whereas now, what you see going on is one side wants the ability to speak and challenge the other side's ideas. And the other side, instead of standing on their ideas and putting on the gloves and going, yeah, let's debate this. Let's have an open discussion. No, they run and cower, they hide, they cancel, they smear. And they use the media, the politicians, the late night talk show hosts to do their dirty work, right? To shut down the other side, mock the other side, make them look like fools, make them look like idiots. When at the end of the day, any thinking person can see like, hey, this is a side that is so cowardly, so chicken, right? So scared to have an open discussion. This is why I don't jump on board with a lot of these woke ideas, like climate change or, especially like climate change, right? Because a lot of these people are like, oh, the top scientists say this. The top scientists. It's like, why? How come the top scientists never debate the other side? Why are they so afraid? Hey, Greta Thunberg, how come you've never debated any skeptics a single time in your life, right? Yet all these people are holding her up like she's some goddess. Again, that can only happen on the left, right? Because there's no accountability on the left. On the right, people would hold your feet to the fire, right? People would be like, no, dude, you can't pull that here. Otherwise, you're just a grifter, right? I mean, the left is just one big grift at the end of the day, right? Greta Thunberg, all these woke activists are just a bunch of grifters, right? But nobody ever calls them out on that. Why? Because most of the time, they don't let people come in and challenge them, right? More recently, I just saw this Vice thing. It was this Vice feminism thing. It was all over the internet. Thing went viral. It was anti-feminist versus feminist. I'm sure you saw it because there are a few girls that were on that have YouTube channels, and they started releasing clips. And I think Pearly was on one of them too. Yeah, she was actually. She released a lot of clips too. But so at one time, I remember when that first came out, I saw it, and I was, what I was shocked about? That they left the comments open. I was like, oh my gosh, they left the comments open. And everybody, I know they didn't expect this, but over 90 to 95% of the comments were people who were like just demolishing the feminists that were on that panel. And they were saying, see these girls, this is why feminism is failing. And oh my God, they play such victims. I mean, most of the women in the comment section, most of the people were rational and making some rational, very articulate challenges to the feminists that were on the Vice thing. And so what did Vice do, right? Because they're losing the narrative, what do? They shut down the comments, right? They turned off the comments. I'm like, of course they will. Of course they will, because this is what the left does, because they are a bunch of cowards at the end of the day that can't debate. They know they will lose if they stand on their ideas. If they put on the gloves and try to go against the other side, they know they will fail miserably. So what do? They just cancel. They just shut down the comments, right? This is like you playing checkers with somebody or a game of chess, and then once they start to lose, they just flip the board on you. You ever have somebody do that when you were kids, right? The left, they're just so immature like that. They'll just flip the board on you. The game's over. Or say you're playing video games, then they start losing in the video game. They pull the plug and the video game ends. That's essentially what they do. Or they're playing if you're playing Monopoly with somebody and then they start losing, they just flip the board over, right? Because they can't win, right? But it just tells you, it speaks volumes about the other side. Okay, it speaks volumes about the other side. Imagine having a friend. Just any friend, right, in your life that you could never criticize, You can never tell him when he's wrong. You always have to agree with him. You always have to tiptoe around what he says. He's constantly, changing the definition of words so that you'll never win arguments, and so he'll always look like the victim and you'll always look like the oppressor. I mean, he's always making these rules in your friendship that benefit him and are just totally unfair to you. Would you want to be friends with somebody like that? That sounds like a pretty toxic relationship, right? Doesn't that sound like a very abusive relationship with a narcissist? Well, that's what the left has become, right? Everybody is in this very abusive relationship with the woke these days, with the leftist mob, right? And I really believe people these days have Stockholm syndrome. They just feel bad for these people and they become attached to them. And they can no longer discern right from wrong, right? They've lost their moral compass, right? They've lost their moral compass and they believe anything these days. And they will, they will encourage that type of destructive behavior where there's no accountability on their side. But again, at the end of the day, you either debate or you silence and smear, cancel and smear, right? And I would hope that you would be on the side for open debate, because I am, right? I am. If I'm not an expert in something, then I will at least say, hey, I'm not an expert in this. I'll do my best, but don't quote me on anything, but I'm not an expert, but if you want to talk to me about debate me on pickup and dating, and if anybody was like, hey, come on this show, Em, and you're gonna challenge these people who say it doesn't work. Fine. I'm okay with that. I'm not gonna be like, you know what? Ooh, I'm losing here. Can't someone shut down the comments? No, I'm not gonna do that. All right, I'm gonna give it my best shot. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna give it my best shot. And the only people I see being honest these days are the people on the right. Right? I see the people that I see wanting to have the discussions, wanting to talk about this stuff. The people that I see bringing facts, bringing receipts, are people on the right. The people on the left are not bringing facts. They're not bringing receipts. They're just bringing emotion. They're bringing anger, hatred, that they're accusing this side of being hateful. It's like, can you not see, what you're doing here? That you're projecting what you're accusing the other side of doing? Right? So, as always, guys, drop your comments below. Let me know what you think of tonight's coaching video. Anything you'd like to add, anything you would like to share, please drop them in the comments below. I very much appreciate it. Here, as I sign out from my hotel room, I'm staying at the Hyatt Regency, one of my favorite hotels. So, always a nice view, too. It's gorgeous out here. As always, this is Matt Cross from AlphaMaleSecrets. Don't forget to smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, smash that notification bell for me as well. Helps me out a ton with the YouTube algorithm. As always, if you guys love my work, if it's helping you to become a better man, to achieve more, to grow, to become more enlightened, to become more red pill, if it's helping you out, the best way to support my work is by essentially becoming a premium subscriber of my premium AlphaMaleSecrets channel, which I'm hosting on a private platform. Right now it's only $1 for the entire first month of premium AlphaMaleSecrets content from me. So take advantage of it. All you need to do is click the link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds, so do that now, and I'll see you in my next coaching video. I'm out.